What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video, and today we just got the Canelo Alvarez and Dimitri Bivol ring walkouts from ESBC. Now, it was a minute and 20 seconds long, about 50 seconds of it, I want to say. A minute of it is gameplay related. The others is just obviously the intro and the outro and stuff like that. And I thought for this video, we'd take a little bit of a closer look at some things that, you know, little details that you guys may have missed. Now, I know the video is only short, and I know you guys aren't idiots, but I thought let's just have a little look and a closer look at some of the details in these ring walkouts. So right away we start with some amazing commentary as well as an actual atmosphere of a crowd. It sounds like a crowd. We've got Todd Grisham's actual commentary for once. We've got obviously all of our sponsors up in the corners and around the automated screens. We've got Empire Pro Tape, Ring TV, Still City Interactive. We've got Cleto Rays, all scrolling around there to build that atmosphere of the ring. We can also see the ring in the bottom left, probably the ring that we have seen before. We can see probably judges' tables as well as doctors' tables, things like that, which is awesome. And Todd Grisham right off the bat mentions DAZN, so I'm starting to think DAZN are involved in the game. They just gotta be.
Welcome to DAZN. I'm Todd Grisham, and this is our Tale of the Tape.
And then we jump to this Tale of the Tape that unscrolls, just lovely. I'm a real nerd for menus. I really am. Like things like main menus and stuff, I'm a real nerd for. I just absolutely love them. So we can see Canelo Alvarez and Dimitri Bivol appear. Records, flags on the left and the right, obviously Mexican and Russian. Records underneath. Canelo obviously always goes by Canelo Alvarez. It's actually odd to see his first name. And then we see all of the actual Tale of the Tape unravel with age, height, reach, weight, and stance, as well as Tale of the Tape light heavyweight fight, 12 rounds, and 2 DAZN logos. Now, this is the part where I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the atmosphere. I'm looking at the logos. I'm looking at the ring. I'm looking at the crowd. I'm looking at this Tale of the Tape, and I'm like, this is a product that is coming together, and it looks incredible. We can see the weights, the reach, obviously the height of both men, and then what's great as well is Todd Grisham actually mentions the height in not just a generic video game fashion, actually a real commentary from a real fight is what it sounds like.
For the light heavyweight championship of the world, Canelo Alvarez, 5'7", Dimitri Bivol will have a distinct height and reach advantage.
And then, of course, you guys didn't miss this because it's bright fucking yellow, but the big DAZN logo in the middle. I wonder if that's because they're promoting the fight for the real-life fight, or if they're actually part of the game. I think it's because they're part of the game, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, of course, one thing we notice right off the start here is we've got Canelo Alvarez, but there's no robes, there's no corners, things like that. Remember, it's a work in progress. You can't expect this to be the final piece. Up the top right, yet again, we see the DAZN logo. Behind him, we see the fireworks go off, and as he lifts his arm up, we see the Empire Pro Tape wrapped around his gloves. Now, that brand appears to be something called either Adams or AOAMs. I can't quite see what that brand on his glove is. Now, we go to his shorts, we can see the actual Canelo Alvarez logo as well as the WBC logo and that same double triangle logo. I can't quite put my finger on what that is. Different boots, though. We haven't seen these boots before with the blue and white. Hopefully, we get boots that actually match his colour scheme because we've got the brilliant gloves that have that lovely shine to them. His shorts look incredible, and I just like to get some boots that actually match. And we're just going to admire a bit of his walkout, his actual movement. He's like, you know, his head up, head down, actually as if he was fighting. You know, there's deep breaths he's taken before a fight. We see his name pop up, hometown, Guadalajara, Mexico. Also, I'd just like to play over the bit of Todd Grisham, what he says here about Canelo. I feel like these little personal touches, if they have them for every fighter, will really make the game feel whole.
And here comes the pound-for-pound king, Saul Canelo Alvarez, the face of boxing and a 4-division world champion, a national hero fighting out of Guadalajara. Alvarez says he doesn't just want to be known as one of the best all time, he wants to be known as the all-time best.
Now, during Todd says that, let's cut it back to him actually walking out. I'll put it in slow-mo, and we can see his name. We can see the posters or billboards, whatever you'd want to call them, of Canelo on the left and Bivol on the right. You know, lights, smoke, everything fancy, crowd, the atmosphere. The lights are off the crowd and focus on the fighter right now. We can see Canelo's record as well comes up 57-1 to 2-39, which I just love. I think the bit where he's walking out, this bit here, where I'll obviously cut the commentary out, this bit where he's walking out, the in front of him is blurred, he's just walking. This looks absolutely phenomenal. Just admire this for a moment. I think it looks absolutely fucking incredible. I also like that he's moving with a bit of movement, not just dead straight walking. You know, he's stretching his arms out, shoulders out, and actually moving. And then it zooms in on him from his front view, and it just looks, yet again, incredible.
And here comes the champ. He's undefeated, 19-0 with 11 knockouts, Dimitri Bivol. He promises to use his impressive footwork, skills, and ring IQ to freeze Canelo in his tracks to pick up the biggest win of his life.
And now a completely different song plays, completely different music, and we've got Dimitri Bivol here, who also, his model looks absolutely stunning. Bit of a different angle. The Canelo's one started very face on. This one's starting from almost like a shoulder. Bivol's in a different stance, head down, gloves together. Brilliant black and red shorts, love them. Yet again, the Empire Pro tape. And again, Todd says something about Bivol that's personal to him. It's not just like generic commentary. And yet again, a different style of walkout. With Canelo, it was more zoomed up on his back when he was walking, and he was walking more straight, a little bit of a stretch. Bivol's got more movement in his arms, more of a zoomed out camera, so it's not the same generic walkout every single time. And yet again, we see his wins, his losses, and his draws, which he has none of losses or draws, and 11 KOs. Now, I love this bit as well when he's walking out. Even though it is more zoomed out, everything else is blurred. He is the focus. His record is the focus here. This ring walk is the focus. The crowd, the ring, that's not the focus right now, which I just love. And then we've got this face on where he's, moving, kind of stretching his wrists out, flicking his fist, which I just think, yet again, looks incredible. And then we cut to this DAZN, and they're in the ring, and we hear Todd talking again.
It's Canelo versus Bivol, live on DAZN. Here we go.
But we see both men approach and touch gloves. Both look, which I actually quite like, that they look to the side initially, because you kind of get that. It won't just be pure eye contact. They meet kind of in the center. Both look to like the side as if they're looking over to corners or to crowds or whatever. The only issue I have here is their eye lines aren't meeting. Canelo's looking at his lips and Bivol's looking at his hair. So that's the only thing I'd like to see them do. But I like that they touch gloves and have a bit of a face-off, and then bang, the push down on the gloves, and they back up, and then the ESBC logo pops up. But I love that, how they come in, and it's a good couple of seconds they're coming in and they're pushing gloves to one another. And then, so they're pushing gloves to one another for a sec, looking side to side, looking at each other in the eye, for example, and then bang, touch gloves, bump the fists, and back away and get ready to fight. And I just think that looks absolutely incredible. The whole walkout was brilliant. I thought I'd do a little breakdown for it because that's something that I actually like to do. And I suppose I'll just share it with you guys. I would have done this anyways even if I wasn't making videos, which is kind of sad, but I'm not going to lie. It looks absolutely incredible. I love that there's two styles of walkouts here, with Canelo's more zoomed in, Bivol's more zoomed out. Canelo's not as jittery. Bivol is not jittery, not like he's scared jittery, but more movement with him, like flicking the wrist, kind of bit more movement, zoomed out. I think it's brilliant. I think it shows there's not just going to be one constant walkout where everyone is zoomed in, walking a certain way, standing a certain way, moving a certain way. Everyone is going to be walking out different, moving different. I think this looks absolutely incredible for where they are now for early access, which people keep fucking forgetting. It's not a released game yet. It's in early access, alpha, beta, whatever you want to call it. It's not fucking released yet. My goodness, it's so painful to have the same conversation every day. Just remember that. It's brilliant for the access, for the early alpha, beta, whatever you want to call it, that we've got to be able to see right now, and it looks incredible. I haven't seen any games with walkouts this good. I'd say the closest is the build-up to main events in Undisputed 3, but this is just a basic walkout is absolutely incredible. But I just thought I'd do a little breakdown on it, guys. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, drop a like, subscribe down below for more. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.